I joke a lot about not knowing what's going on and just kind of hanging out, but like for the most part, I'm pretty. I know what's happening and I can plan out. And I knew that it was ride something, and that's all I had asked several times, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? And I never got any specifics. So I had a staff meeting on Tuesday, like saying, hey, we have this assembly. I'm still not 100% sure what we're going to talk about, but we're gonna talk about something. So the closest that I thought was our district has been doing a lot of really good stuff with Ride Pilot, and I thought it might have been something like award with that because we have the celebration of learning on Friday. I thought maybe there was a lead in to that, so I didn't think it was this. The first thought was, again, not being able to plan or know, right? Like my initial was like, oh man, I don't know who's not here today. If the teacher that got it isn't here, nobody asked me who was absent. Uh-oh. And I had leaned over to my superintendent, Brennan Orndorff, just before, like, hey, what if they're not here? What do we do? Oh, you're fine. So my headspace was, oh darn, we're gonna have this teacher win this award and they're not present. This is bad. So it took me about 2 or 3 seconds to kind of be like, oh, no, we're good. It's me. Everything's fine. This is fine. No. Then I tried not to cry. That was my process through.
Got it.
I don't know. That makes you feel special. I'm not gonna lie about it. I mean, I get to be there in front of all my students and staff, and I don't know. That feels really good. I mean, it's nice to. There's a lot of work that goes into it with everything that we do, and it's not. I mean, I say that, but I'm not the one who's actually teaching the kids, right? Like, I help, but I mean, my teachers are actually who's doing the hard stuff. But it's nice to be recognized for what you are doing. So I got hired. Bob Hall was my original principal in Sterling, Colorado, and we laughed because I got hired for a position that didn't have a job description. It was just, hey, you're the student services coordinator. We know that you're going to have some tutoring in the morning, and we'll have you do attendance, and maybe we'll have you teach some classes. And I was blessed to be at Sterling Middle School. I made some really good friends there, a really strong mentor in Bob Hall. I got to just be involved with everything that I had asked to be in. I mean, everything from, general administration stuff like, student discipline through IEPs, 504s, like all the stuff that is involved with admin. That was my first year in education. Then from there I went to Kremling, Colorado. I was the assistant principal at West Grand K-8, and under another really great principal, Jack Daly, who's still a super good friend of mine. Taught me a lot about the intricacies of, honestly, relationship building with your staff. Jack was great at it, and I got to watch him work for 2 years there. And then that led me to the middle school, and again, blessed by other people. Whit McLeod he was our district teacher of the year 2 years ago. He got involved in Level Up, which I went with him and got involved in some state level things, and I've just tried to be as involved as I can and make sure Park 6 has representation and things that are getting decided. So that's how I kind of ended here. This past year I moved up to the high school to specifically work on some career focused pieces, some classroom to career stuff. That was my big reason for coming up. And there's just been other things that we've been blessed and excited to do this past year that will be exciting rolling into next. We're hammering hard into internships and apprenticeships. So what we want is kids to minimum be exposed to what their possibilities are, especially within Cody. But I mean, we have several business partnerships. One of the first ones we did a tour with was the hospital. And it's interesting because, like, for the majority of people, when you go into the hospital, I talk to registration, and then I talk to the nurse, and then I talk to the doctor, and then I try to get out of the hospital because I don't want to be in the hospital very long. But the depth of positions that exist there, it blows your mind, honestly, because if you're not in something, it's hard to comprehend what's all involved with it. So we want our students to see as much as they can while they're in high school, get as many of those experiences while they're still kind of under our umbrella and the safety that we can provide with that. So we started the year with, I think, 22. We're up to about 97 kids that are out on internship now. Next year, that'll expand further into apprenticeship. So a student who's completed a successful internship, they can spend multiple periods, up to 4 periods a day, out on apprenticeship at a career or organization or wherever that they'd like to go to, with the goal of exposing, but then hopefully they've really found what their passion is, what they want to do post-secondary, and give them as much opportunity while they're here with us to explore those possibilities. I'm an educator because it's fun, man. I'm gonna be honest, like I can't think of doing, that's the other part of all this stuff with classroom to careers, like been exposed to a lot more. I've worked with a number of different places in town, just seeing what possibilities are. And I have the most fun job in the world. Like we get to work with kids every day. I mean, we get to set things up for people to explore their passions, not just students, but my teachers as well. Like I try to give them the chance, like if you want to do something, if you want to learn something, awesome. Like run with it, I want you to, right? I don't know that I could get to do something like that anywhere else. I mean, my job's just so fun every day. So I guess that's why I'm an educator, because it's just, I don't know, I have a really good time hanging out with kids. I'd say it's because it paints educators in such a positive light. I mean, the reality is we're kind of caught in the middle of a couple different spotlights on the national level, and it's hard when education gets politicized. I mean, if I'm a student and I see that, does that make me want to then get an education? And then if we're not getting those great people as teachers, as principals, as whatever, that's just hurting us as a whole, right? Like kids deserve the best people available to be in front of them, teaching them, learning with them, right? Something like this is a positive spotlight that can get shined, that kids can see rather than the political side of it. I don't know, like for me, it's inspiring. Like, I don't know, I look at other people that I don't know, I guess it hasn't necessarily hit yet that like, hey, that's me, right? But I mean, people that win this award are amazing. Like, I don't necessarily, it's not my mindset. Like, I'm fun, I guess. Like, I'm a cool guy, but I'm not like one of them. I guess I am, but I'm not, right? It's inspiring, right? I'm excited to go to meet the other people that have won this, because they've done great things. Like, I'm excited to hear what these other people have done. I guess my hope is that, I mean, maybe I inspire somebody else. I guess the next crop of folks, like if they view these people the same way that I view them and I'm one of those people, then hey, I've been inspiring, that's awesome. But I guess is that a roundabout way of answering it? Yeah, I laugh with a lot of people about it. I mean, when I compare what I do to what my teachers do, I mean, those are two different levels, right? Like, I'm not standing in front of kids every day, right? Like, I'm not working with the kid who's struggling through math. I'm not teaching a kid how to weld. Like, that's not me. That's the actual hard work. Like, I'll manage things and I'll try to make things as easy as I can for my staff and for my students, but I'm not the one who's actually in the trenches, right? And when I talk about my kids, I mean, I can't say enough. Like, Cody's blessed. I mean, we really are. We use the example, like, we could have the bells turned off one day for whatever reason, and kids will go to class on time because that's when we go to class. It's the right time to go. I mean, we excel so heavily in academics and athletics and activity. I mean, the number of accolades that this building, this district has accumulated, it's just daunting. I mean, it's so incredible that I get to be a part of it. So I mean, when I say it's them, I mean, it is them. I'm not the one teaching the kids. I'm not the one on the field. I'm not the one coaching. I'm not the one directing the play. I don't do the choir. Like, all those people are doing such great things and such hard work. That's what I mean when I say that. Hi, I'm Nathan Tedjeske. I'm the principal of Cody High School in Cody, Wyoming, and I'm a Milken educator.